Hello everyone, I'm Bill Mills from the Mozilla Science Lab, and in this video we're going to learn how to list a new event on your study group website. So to get started, head over to your study group repository on GitHub that we made in the last video. And what we're going to do now is work together to follow the instructions under how to launch a new event. So step one is to make a new issue to describe your event. To do that, head up to the top here and click on Issues to go to your message board, your issue tracker, and click on New Issue here in the top right. You're going to get a chance to describe your event with a title and a description. So maybe the title of my event will be Introduction to Python. And in this leave a comment box here, we're going to describe everything our participants will need to know to participate in our event. So things they might want to know would be, say, when is the event going to be? Maybe it's going to be 2016, January 1st at 3 p.m. They're going to need to know where it is. So where can be, let's say, the Beatty Biodiversity Museum, and a nice thing at UBC, and a nice thing to do for your users is to give a link to a map to wherever it's going to be to help them find the place if they've never been before. So to get a convenient map, open up another tab and search for wherever it is you want to hold your event in your search engine of choice. Go over to their Maps function, and hopefully you should get a nice map with a pin indicating where your event is. Copy that URL, go back to your issue, and then we're going to use Markdown to format the link to this map really nicely. And to do that, make some square brackets. Inside the square brackets, you can write anything you want, but I like to just say map. And then beside that, in normal brackets, paste in that URL to your map. There we have it. And that's going to look really nice when we publish the event. You'll see that in just a second. The other things that our users are going to need to know is who is this event for? So I would say that this event is targeted at beginners. All are welcome. And the other thing people need to know is what they should do beforehand to make sure they're ready for the lesson or whatever the event is. And so here I might say, make sure Python is installed on your laptop beforehand. If you need help or aren't sure, post a comment here. There we have it. So I've told people when my event is, where it's going to be with a map, and I've told them who the event is for and let them know what they need to do beforehand and invited them to ask for help if they need it. Once I've done all that, I can click on Submit New Issue, and there we go. I've got an issue in my issue tracker that people can make comments about or ask questions about in this thread. So to get this event onto our study group website, I'm going to follow the rest of the instructions back in the README, which we can get back to by clicking on study group at the top. And moving on to steps 2 and 3. So the next couple steps are to go to this posts directory in your repository and make a new file with this format of title. So let's just copy that title format, because we're going to use that in just a second. Head back up to your list of files and directories and click on Posts here. That's where we want to go. And in the Post directory, you can make a new file by clicking on the little plus here. So create a new file like this. And once we do that, we can paste in that file name into the Name Your File box that pops up. There it is. And to name this correctly, we need to change this date format to the actual date of our event. So I think it was 2016, 01 for January, 01 for the 1st. And I can change word to be anything I want to describe what this event is. You don't have to change it if you don't care, but this will just help you keep track of what this event is about. So I'm going to call this, say, intro Python, for example. Once I've done that, I can press this green commit new file button at the bottom to save that new file. And I've got a new file in my posts directory. What I want to do next is go back to my study group README, but it's actually a little bit more convenient if I open a new tab to do this. So just right click on that link, open link in new tab. Go look at the instructions, just so I don't have to switch back and forth too much. The next step here is to cut and paste the following into your new file. So I will grab this text out of the README, and this is why I opened this extra tab. Now I can just click back here to be in my posts directory where I made this new file. Click on my new file, click on this pencil over on the right that says edit this file when I hover over it. And this is going to let me edit this new file that I made right in the browser here. I'll paste in the content of that instruction from the README. Now I need to fill out these fields. So I'll give a title to my events. I'll say this is Introduction to Python. And I can give a one-sentence description of the events. I'll say, Bill is introducing Python to new users. Note the location of the events. This is going to be at the BD Biodiversity Museum. The link in this file is going to be the URL of that issue we made on the first step. So if I go back over to my other tab here, my repo, click on Issues up on the top right, then click on the issue that I made a minute ago. I'll copy its URL here, and then I'll go back over to my new file that I'm working on and paste that in the link right there. And then the last thing to do is to set the correct date for this. So it's 2016, then the month, 01 for January, and then 01 for the day. Once I've done that, I can save my work by clicking on Commit Changes. And that's it. I should see my information listed in this little table in this file. And then, if I head back over to my repository, clicking on Study Group, and I can then find the URL to my website by clicking on Settings over on the right and finding the URL under GitHub Pages here. Click through there, go to our website, and if we scroll down here, there it is. There's our new event listed on our web page with the place, the date, and the little one-sentence description that we made that people can easily find and check out. This title line is also a link that will take people to the issue that you made in the first step so they can ask questions and make comments about this. That's it. That's all you have to do to make new events for your study group. This very first time, though, you might have noticed we've got this dummy little stub here just to show an example of what the events listing looks like. The very first time we make this, we can get rid of that by, here I'll start over from the study group repo, heading over to our repo, clicking on Posts, and then it's going to be this 2077-0101 my event markdown. If we click on that, and then click on this little garbage can over here, that will delete that file. You don't need this file, it was just an example. So click on that, and then click on Commit Changes here to get rid of it. And then if we head back over to our study group and refresh, there we go, it's gone, it's never coming back. We just get our listing of our ongoing events.